Hello guys, welcome to yet another video from the Let's Trade community. I hope you had a successful trading week last week because all the trades we called here last week did played out fine, and me personally, I made significant amount of money, and I hope and believe that you did. But if you didn't, this is another opportunity for you to catch all these pips and make some cool cash. Okay, so last week we talked about some couple of pairs. We talked about euro jpy, we talked about usd jpy, we talked about we talked about bitcoin, we talked about gold and some other currency pairs like that, and they were all a hit. Um they all moved in the direction like we called, and I just hope you were able to catch all those moves. Okay, today we are going to be looking at some currency pairs, and as you must have noticed, USD pairs was kind of weak towards the end of last week, and saw some kind of rally against the USD. So I'm still actually watching. Excuse me, I'm still actually watching to actually ascertain what is actually going on. So I'm going to be starting with the USD card. USD card, we're starting from the weekly time frame. But hold on, let me check if I'm actually recording. On the weekly time frame, if I zoom out, you will see that for a long time we've tried to create what a double top, right? The double top has not played out because we failed to break below the neckline, right? But if you look at the overall swing highs on the weekly time frame, it's where that we've not been able to create a new swing high, right? As a matter of fact, we had an impulsive downtrend here, and for some couple of years now, or year or months, this should be up to a year. Let me check the monthly time frame. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. Okay, this is more than a year. So we've been pulling back for more than a year now. So that's why I've not been calling too much of USD card, if you've noticed throughout my video, because we are in something I consider a choppy market. But anyways, there's something interesting going on. Let's go to the daily time frame so that we can get a clearer view. If you notice on the daily time frame, price rejected here before. For the record, if you look right, you will discover that this is a round number. Round numbers are numbers in forex right now. Round numbers are easily divisible by 100. Okay, so when you are trading, you might want to keep an eye on those round numbers. Okay, there are other forms of round number like 1950, 1960, 1970, just for example. But the best form of round number you actually want to look out for, the best form of round numbers that holds more relevance are those ones that are easily divisible by 100. Okay, so as you can look, if you look right, you see we have 1.320000, right? And you can see that price has come into that zone before, rejected it, and we pushed down. Remember, this is a daily time frame, so it's a significant move between this place and this place. Now we've gone back into it and created a double top, right? So what do we expect next? We should expect at least, if not a massive fall, but at least some kind of push downward, right? I never expected I never expected price to move this way on Friday. I was hoping that we're going to linger around here so that I can catch some move, but that was not going to be the case. So if we come to the 4-hour time frame, you can see the double top properly, and this was where we've tested it previously. We pushed down, we went back, we've gone back up. So what I'm expecting on the USD Canadian dollar is I'm expecting two things actually. I'm either expecting a pullback to this zone, then we look for selling pressure to sell, with this place being our first level target. By this place being our first level target, at least what I mean is we're expected to close at least maybe 75. That's what I do. I close 75% of my position at this zone, then I break even and watch from the sidelines whatever happens, right? So now two things is going to happen. You see that will get that pullback and sell, or when market opens, because this doji I'm seeing here, right here, price can just keep pushing downward, because if you look left, it price actually did react to this level and not this broken level, right? So that is why I'm thinking two things can happen. But the problem with this kind of trade is you might not get that risk to reward ratio you're looking at. You understand? So what I like to do in this scenario is I'll sell with my stop loss above here, right? I'll sell with my stop loss above here. I might take profit here. But if we now get that pullback, I can decide to what add to my positions if I see a good entry reason, right? So on Monday or for next week, I'll be expecting price to do what, stick push down. I'm not saying it's going to push all the way down straight up, no, because the market has been trending up for some time now. So we can't just push down like that straight up, but at least we still expect some kind of push. At least we can still make money off that little move, okay? And if it ends up being a massive move, of course we are going to join in the future, right? So the next pair we'll be looking at is the US dollar Swiss franc. This has also been choppy because, as you can see, this is the monthly time frame, and we've been moving sideways for how many months now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So for 5.5 months we've been moving sideways. So this kind of markets, I really don't like trading them. I like trading trending markets, okay? But however, we have been reacting. If you look right, we have been reacting at this round number 1.00000, right? We failed to break above it for the past, let's say, 5.5 months now. Now let's come to the weekly time frame. Let's get some perspective, okay? It's still the same thing. Rejected it for some couple of weeks, and we've been trading below it for quite some time now. Then on the daily time frame, so on the daily time frame, we're having some kind of sweet setup, and that's why I'm even looking at this pair today. As you can see, remember I talked about the round number, and we had some kind of a double top formation at the round number, but we failed to bleed to the downside, as as a matter of fact went back into that zone, I think to the 7.8 fib level, okay, sorry, to the 6.1 fib level, right? And price pushed down, creating a new lower low, right? Then we went back into that zone. We failed to break above it. If we had broken above it, we can say, okay, we should start looking for buying opportunities. But as a matter of fact, we didn't break above it. Instead, we rejected it, and we've rejected it with a statement bearish movement. That's how I want to call this, right? So I'm looking at this price. USD Swiss franc is going to keep falling to at least this zone as its first target, because we have one touch here, two touch here of this trend line. We have the third touch here, so I'm expecting the fourth touch. If we breach here, then here will be my next level target. Then if we break below, okay, we'll know that, okay, we are all in bearish movement straight up, right? So now that we've established on the daily time frame what price is doing, because we're getting to see there's a double top here, we're beginning to see something like another double top here. So let's go to the 4-hour time frame and see what we have. Actually, last week in the Telegram channel, I actually posted when price was here. I posted when price was here that I was expecting some kind of a pullback into the zone before I sell, but we didn't get the pullback. Instead, we kept collapsing, and now this, I don't like this kind of movement. It's too linear, right? It's too linear. Selling here, because ideally we just broke below this support, so we're supposed to maybe go back into it to retest and keep falling, right? But this movement is too linear. I'll be expecting some kind of pullback. However, we can wake up on Monday and keep bleeding to the downside, right? But I won't advise anyone to sell straight up from here, or me personally, I won't sell from here. So to add some kind of confluence, if we reverse back into the zone, that would be perfect. That would be so perfect. Okay, but if we don't get that, then I'm just going to improvise. By improvise, I'm going to look at where market rejected previously. Okay, market had reacted to this place. Then I'll just capture something like this. Okay, I'll just use this as my speed breaker. Okay, then hope that you see that we get what I'm looking at actually is actually two things. So that will come back into this zone, then I'll sell to the downside, or we actually break below this zone. If we break below this zone, I actually do expect this price to give me something like this, because I don't expect it to just keep falling into this zone like this. No, I don't expect that. So for USD Swiss franc, I'm bearish, and these are the two possibilities I'm looking for. So the next on our list is the AUD USD. The AUD USD pushed significantly to the upside yesterday, sorry, on Friday, that's which is the last day of last week's trading week, right? So now we are forming something like a double bottom at a rounded price, which is 0.670000. So now we're forming something like a double bottom, but it's not yet a double bottom yet until we break the what, the neckline. But however, if you go to the 4 hours time frame, of course you can see the impulsive move here, and we've created some kind of higher high here. Okay, anything can happen at this zone. We can come in here and reject it, okay, and pull to the downside maybe before, to create a double bottom on the 4 hours before pushing to the upside, right? But if that doesn't happen, maybe due to the momentum of the USD, sorry, the other currencies against the USD from last week, if we break above this trend line, I would like, if we keep going bullish, I would like to see us break above this trend line, right? Then come back to retest it, and for trying to buy to the upside, okay? But we just have to be careful, because one day of price action, we can't just say, okay, we are in for a change in trend, right? So if we start seeing some kind of rejection around this trend line, and it's beginning to look like, okay, price is going to push to the downside, okay, we can start looking for short opportunities, which I'm going to drop the updates in the Telegram group. So if you have not joined the Telegram group yet, you want to do yourself, that's good to do, or join the Telegram group. So if we start seeing rejection, we'll go to the smaller time frame to look what for selling opportunities. But if we keep going bullish and we break above this trend line, then I would like to see a retest before what we buy to the upside, with these zones looking as targets. You want to keep an eye on this zone and this zone here, okay? Anyways, that's all for the AUD USD. Two possible scenarios, down or up, but whichever way it goes, I'm going to be updating you in the Telegram group. So for Euro USD actually is in a zone that I have been looking as an overall take profit area, which is this zone that price has tested multiple times, looking what left before, right? So now price is at that zone, and amazingly we are having a round number there also, which is the 99,000, so which is an interesting number. And last week we closed with a huge what, engulfing, bullish engulfing candlestick. So let's scale to the lower time frame. So on the lower time frame, we've been creating series of lower lows and lower highs, and right now we failed to create any higher highs to make me look for buying opportunities. So for now, I'm still going to be watching from the sidelines, and if we get to this trend line and see some kind of rejection, then I'll still look for short trading opportunities. But before I'll start looking for buys on this trade, on this euro USD, we have to break above this trend line, okay, then get some kind of retest before we start buying, okay, because we've been trading below the trend line for months now, so we have to break above it before I start looking for buying opportunities. But till that happens, I'm still going to be looking for short trades within here. So as it stands now, I don't have any clear call on this trade yet, except maybe let's go to the 1 hour time frame. Go to the 1 hour time frame, except if we get something like this, a break below this trend line on Monday. A break below this trend line will be a good time to sell. Okay, so keep your eyes on this one. A break below this, don't be over ambitious, just take your profit around here, okay, because we are at rock bottom right now. I'm expecting a reversal any moment from now. So for euro USD, if we break below this trend line, I'm going to sell, okay, and if we break above this trend line, I'll be waiting for a pullback to what, buy. So the last on my list today is going to be the nzdusd. As you know, I trade only the majors, right? So on nzdusd, price has rejected a round number as usual. Can you notice that all USD pairs has rejected a round number? So it's beginning to give me concerns that we might be in for an overall change in trend, but it's still early days. I don't want to get ahead of myself. Let's take it one step at a time. So price has reacted nicely to the 6.000 round number level, right? Let's go to the daily chart. The daily chart also closed with a giant bullish engulfing candle after bouncing off the 0.6000 level. Let's go to the 4 hours. The 4 hours has broken above a minor counter trend line and created a higher high in the process. It has even been creating series of higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. Then we're expecting some kind of higher lows, and if we see some kind of bullish engulfing candlestick or a hammer candlestick, anything bullish, we are going to buy, with here being our initial target, right? So that will be all for today's weekly outlook. If you like the video, why not just subscribe and leave us a comment in this comment section, and share this video with your friend, and show us some love, guys, so that we can keep making this content. And you might want to turn on the post notification, the notification icon, so that each time we drop videos like this, you'll be amongst the first people to receive those videos and take advantage of it before they actually play out in the market, right? So I wish you guys a blue pips week, and take it easy, guys.